Blog Talk Radio. Has anyone ever told you dream too big, that you have too many ideas, that you need to be realistic? What if there was a career and lifestyle that you could completely design yourself that enables you to do what makes your heart truly sing and helps millions of people benefit from what you have to offer? One that provided you with all the money you need to thrive, not just survive. That is the life of an enlightened entrepreneur. Welcome to the Aha Moments radio show, dedicated to the inspiration, education, and celebration of enlightened entrepreneurs worldwide, with your host, Mariana Cooper, founder of Aha Moments Inc. and AhaMomentsInc.com. Her motto, oh yes, you can have what you want, and you deserve it too. Join us for the next hour and learn to trust your aha moments to lead the way to a passionate and purposeful life. And now here's your host, Mari.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Aha Moments radio show for the inspiration, education, and celebration of enlightened entrepreneurs and light workers worldwide. And I'm Mari, and welcome. I'm excited. It's Tuesday. It's a somber Tuesday, of course, because it's September 11th, and so I'm honoring and just saying we'll never forget, and we always remember what happened, and I'm honoring all of the folks who were involved and who we lost. So I just want to say that at the top of the show. It's actually been on my mind a lot today. I don't know about you. But anyway, that being said, we have a great show tonight, and some really exciting things have been taking place in my world as far as this show is concerned. We, for whatever reason, have gotten a lot of attention from some of the superstars of the spiritual book author world. And I can't wait to go through some housekeeping with you to let you know who is actually going to be on the show. I have some amazing people who are going to be on. But tonight's show, the topic of the show, is all about manifesting with your angels and the help of your angels. I know that you hear this word a lot. It's really become all the rage, especially over the last 5 years since we had The Secret come out. But there's a lot of steps to the art. It's really an art of manifesting. It's actually working with the energy of the universe to create your intentions, to actually bring your intentions from your thoughts into your physical reality. And so people get a little confused, or sometimes a lot confused, or impatient, or they just, they lose their way as they're going through this process, or they get discouraged. I know I do. Sometimes I can tell you, if you talk to my friends and to some of my, my mentors, oh boy, they're like, oh God, you again, so I'm like, wait a second, And so I wanted to clarify it, especially because we are in a time energetically right now in the fall harvest, where your manifesting has more power to come to fruition into what we call physical actualization, more power than ever. As far as this year is concerned, this is your time. Now is the time, everybody. Now is the time. So if you were impatient over the summer, if you're feeling stuck, if you've been feeling discouraged, if you've been feeling depressed, if you've been feeling, impatient or stressed out, or wondering if you should continue, or wondering if you should throw in the towel, stop. Listen to this show. Take some notes. Make sure you get your notebooks out, because I have a lot of content to share. And if you want, you can even call in and ask a question tonight. And the number to do that is 347-215-9485. So it's 347-215-9485. So if you happen to be a podcast listener and you want to send an email in questions, I'm going to try to start getting, some of the email questions out. I didn't get any for today's show because I announced the show really late. Those angels held out on me till the last minute. I was like, really, you guys? I don't have any idea what we're going to talk about. And then all of a sudden it was just like, boom, this is what we want to talk about. And I said, now that really makes sense. So here we are. But like I said, if you want to send an email to support@AhaMomentsInc.com, then please do so, and we'll start to get some of your questions read on the show, because I know some of you are overseas, and this time slot is not the greatest because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning for you. So Anyway, let's talk a little bit about housekeeping. Then we're going to get into all the stuff with angels. What you're going to be hearing me talk a lot about, especially this fall, is money, which we know we've been doing our money manifesting money miracle series, and Dr. Dane here is going to be on with me next week, and he's going to be talking all about using access consciousness to create massive flows of cash into your world. And you know how I am with Dane, so it should be a really funny and interesting show with a tremendous amount of power. So you want to definitely be on for next week. So he'll be one of our folks in that series. And then the other guy who's going to be on the week after, so I believe September 25th, is Joe Vitale. He actually starred in the movie The Secret. He was one of the major teachers in the movie The Secret and has become, he's just written a zillion books on manifesting, especially money and, material things. If you need a house, a car, all those kinds of material things, Joe is your guy. He is also, if you are an entrepreneur, he is one of the preeminent entrepreneurs who combined using energy and marketing and business development together. So he applies manifesting to the development of your business. He applies manifesting to the material things in life, the things that you really need. He's really, really amazing. Now, he also is hardcore energy, too, because he wrote a book called Zero Limits, which is all about the kahuna Hawaiian art of Ho'oponopono, which is a modality, a Hawaiian energetic modality, very, very powerful. So I'm sure he'll get into some of that as well. So you definitely want to be on for Joe's show. That's September 25th. And then after that, we have gotten a confirmation from James Van Praagh. Now, James has had TV shows. He is a renowned medium. In fact, when my fiance died many years ago, he was one of the people that I turned to. He's absolutely fascinating, and he's going to be talking all about, getting advice from and messages to and from folks that you have in spirit, and that entire that whole realm of mediumship and how it can be so powerful. If you happen to be grieving anyone, he will be taking live calls. You want to definitely be on the show for that. And then today we got confirmation from Greg Braden. OMG. You have no idea. I was sitting in the bookstore. I see this come in on my computer, and I screamed and started fist pumping the air in the cafe of Barnes & Nobles. They kind of know me because I'm there a lot, so they were just kind of like, Mari's having a moment. She must have gotten another guest on the show. But I was so excited because Greg is huge. I've been working on getting Greg on this show for probably like a year and a half. So he's going to be on October 18th. And you definitely want to tune into that. That's actually going to be a Thursday night show. So just so you know, Greg Braden is going to be on October 18th. And then finally, for now, because I have about 6 other people I'm waiting to hear from, but for now, James Twyman, who wrote The Moses Code, which is another New York Times best-selling book. James also did a joint venture with Dr. Wayne Dyer on his latest book, the Wishes Fulfilled book. James will be on the show on December 11th. So we are just rocking and rolling. I don't know what's happening, but I think it's just all this manifesting and all of this sticking to it, and I'm really, really excited. So as you can hear in my voice, it's hard. When you're in this business, it is very hard. It's a small circle of some really, really good people, but they are so booked, and they're on the road all the time. So to get these guys is especially back to back like that is just a very big deal in my world. So thank you for listening to that, and I hope you'll tune into the shows because they're all amazing. So our just a couple other things to housekeeping, and then I see you all guys are calling in already, so thank you. I'm excited to talk to you tonight. You're going to hear me talk about, in addition to the whole money thing, and just a couple of those guys are for the money series. We have Dane and Joe Vitale for the money series, and then, of course, the other ones will be talking about other stuff. What you're also going to be hearing me talk a lot more about are these angels, because in my own channeling, it's been coming up a lot, the need for people to really connect very consciously with their angels, and they're manifesting and connecting with their guardian angels. I'm actually a speaker on a telesummit next week that I'll be talking about the angels and actually giving a guardian angel, how to meet your guardian angel meditation. And I don't have the website of that. I'll try to find it on the break. But it's really important. It's important that you know that you're not alone. And so we are going to be doing two things. One is our Angel School, which is a conference. It's a telecourse, not teleconference, a telecourse. It's 5 weeks, and it's really all about how to work with your angels. Everything from who they are and how they work, to how to channel actual written messages from them, how to meet them in your dreams and work with them in your dreams, how they work with your intuition to get messages to you, and a bunch of other stuff. So if you want to learn about Angel School, you can go to ahamomentsinc.com/angel school. Very easy, ahamomentsinc.com/angel school. And you can learn all about what we're going to be doing in that. We're going to have guided meditations every week, so you'll actually be working with your angels in class with me to guide you through that. And there'll be homework and all kinds of stuff. And then in addition to that, you'll also get a ticket to my live event, which is October 21st, and that's the Messages from the Angels event. And what we'll be doing is teaching you how to use your own angel cards and how to actually do readings for yourself that are safe, that are accurate, and that go beyond the book that was written with the interpretation. Oh, let me see here. I think I'm hearing a lot of Skype calls, so I'm just going to turn my volume here. Okay, because you guys are all calling in. So, anyway, this live event is also going to be simulcast around the world. So while I'm teaching live in class here in New Jersey, if you are in any other part of the world, you'll be able to have access to it online. So we're setting that up for you. So that's October 21st. If you want to learn about that, just go to the Angel School site, which is ahamomentsinc.com/angel school, and you can learn about that event as well. And then finally, for housekeeping anyway, we have my bars class. If you haven't gotten your bars run or you haven't learned how to get your bars run and you happen to be in the New Jersey area, on September 23rd, which is a Sunday, I will be teaching the bars process. And we had a really phenomenal class last time, very, very life-altering process. And you can read all about that at ahamomentsinc.com/thebars, THEBARS. So that is it for housekeeping. Woof, got to take a breath because you can tell it's the fall, right? It's like hyper mode, so much stuff going on, so much going on. But those are all the goodies for the time being. Oh, also, if you want a reading, I am doing readings, and you can go to ahamomentsinc.com/readings for that. So. All right, so let's get into the topic tonight. I see you guys are all calling in. Thank you very much. If you want to call in and ask a question, the number is 347-215-9485. And so tonight we're going to talk about manifesting with the angels. First of all, let's talk about the manifesting process, because the word manifesting actually is the process of bringing something in from the energetic into the physical world. But the actual word that represents the fruition of that manifesting process, so manifesting is the process, the fruition of that is called physical actualization, actualizing it in the physical world. So we're talking about manifesting, and we're talking about physical actualization. Now, one of the little secrets is when people get into trouble with manifesting, or they have a slow go of it, or things aren't coming to fruition, one of it is because we're focused on the process but not on the actualization of what it is we desire, because we're not really recognizing what these words mean. So I want you to just know, if you're saying I'm working on my manifesting project, then you're working on a process. But what you probably want to say is I desire, which if you break down desire, D, which is D-E, hyphen sire, S-I-R-E, is of the Father, okay, so of God, of that God energy, desire. I desire instead of I want, which means I lack. Want, if you look in the dictionary, means lack. So I desire to actualize blah blah blah, a wonderful new job that makes my heart sing, a new baby, the love of my life. I desire to actualize my new home that feels like a sanctuary, this type of thing. When you're referring to what you are desiring, you don't want to say, I want more money. I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be able to pay my bills. I just want, because that comes from a place of lacking and pleading and begging and, kind of the trauma drama, right? And so one of the big portions that in this manifesting process that needs to be paid attention to is how you manage your thoughts and how you use your words. There is and I've read a zillion books. You guys know I interview, between the telesummits and, all the stuff I've done for articles I've written, as well as all this radio show stuff. I have, and my friends, a lot of my friends authors and even non-published authors who are terrific spiritual teachers. I have talked to a zillion of them and read all of the, the books from the people who aren't even alive anymore who created all this stuff, who were some of the first, like Wallace Wattles and Catherine Ponder and, some of these other ones. And they all say the same thing. You cannot get away from it. The two things are your thoughts become things and your words hold power. Your words create. Whatever is your dominant words is what you're going to create. Now, one of the things you want to make sure that you understand also is that whatever you're saying, you can be saying an affirmation, I now have a new house, I now have a new house. But if your emotion and your true intention, and that's step number 1 of the 5, setting your intention is step number 1. If you set your intention, which means, to kind of set your goal or set your target, if you set your intention, I intend to create a wonderful new job that makes my heart sing. And you really don't want a job. You want to start your own business. But you think that it makes more sense for you to get a job first so that you can pay a bill, pay your bills or whatever, or because your family wants you to have a regular job or whatever it is. If your dominant intention is, I need to get a job because I'm scared of starting my own business, that fear will be what manifests. Because whatever your emotion is underneath your words is kind of like the gasoline in the tank. It's the lighter fluid in the barbecue grill. Okay? So the emotion drives the power of the intention. You can say rhetorically, I now have the perfect corporate job. But if underneath you really want the perfect, free spirit business, and that's really where your heart is, there's a disconnect. Tony Robbins calls it being incongruent. Okay, your mouth is saying one thing, but your heart is saying something else. That's the number one cause of, I don't want to say the word failure, but derailed manifesting projects, is that you have incongruency. Now, in addition to that, if you set an intention, I want to lose 50 pounds, I desire to lose 50 pounds, I now am, lean and light and strong, and I'm in my perfect. But your actions are the opposite, where you're not going to work out, you're not going to, kind of revise some of your eating habits and all that. The energy can't manifest around your dominant belief and your dominant intention, so it's not going to work. Now, if it's not something that physical, sometimes we have an undertone of, fear about receiving what it is we desire. So I call that the dark side of the dream, where you set your intention, but there might be something in there that you're afraid of actually receiving it. I now manifest my new house. I now actualize this fabulous new house. Well, if you've had financial troubles in the past, you may be afraid of, could I handle this house? So even though you want the new house, there might be something underneath it that needs to be healed first in order to free up the flow of energy to bring the configuration of what needs to happen to bring that home to you, right? So the first part to do, even over top of setting intention, or I would say probably point number one is set intention, okay? Point number 1.5, 1.5, it is to ask for healing of the energy that may get in the way of you receiving this intention. Healing always precedes manifesting. Healing always needs to come first, okay? Because if that energy is off, whatever is manifesting in your world, you can tell if your energy is off because you can look at your bank account. That reflects it. You can look at your relationships. That reflects it. You can look at your job or your business. That reflects it. You can look at your friendships. That reflects it. You can look at your health and your vitality and your life force. That reflects it. That reflects what your dominant thoughts are. If you want to know what your dominant thoughts are, look at your closest 5 friends, because like attracts like, and look at your overall life circumstances, and you'll know what you're focusing your mind on the most. Now, before you shoot me down about that, okay, before I have a revolt, it's not necessarily your fault. It's not meant to point a finger or to pass a judgment. It's just to bring you to a level of awareness that you start to sort of ride the horse instead of being run away with. Okay, this energy that you're working with, this universal energy that we create with, we are also created from. So it's like the potter is working with the clay, but the potter is also made of clay. It's this energetic clay that we're creating with. So we have this energy that can be in alignment with what we're trying to manifest, because we're all made out of that same God force energy. We're all made out of the same thing, as much as we're also creating with that. And it might sound a little, confusing. Just bear with me. You'll listen to the podcast and you'll hear it again and again, and you'll get it. It'll start to make sense. But the importance is that alignment, and not to be in discord, okay, with that energy. And we are that energy, and we're creating with that energy. So in order to really create, it's just like if you were going to start cooking a recipe in the kitchen, you need to wash your hands first, right? You need to make sure that you're not going to contaminate the ingredients that you're using to create that recipe. Well, that's exactly what we mean when I say you need to ask for healing of the energy first prior to starting your manifesting project. Now, well, Mari, what if I don't know what I need to be healed? Maybe I don't know if I need something healed. How do I know? Well, you don't necessarily have to know. You can just say, when you set your intention, if there's anything that I'm consciously aware of or unconscious of that could get in the way of me bringing this intention to physical actualization, please clear it and heal it now. Okay? And that's when you want to call in Archangel Michael. He's one angel for this. He cuts emotional cords. I'll get into more of the angel stuff later. You want to also call in, though, Archangel Uriel, Uriel. Archangel Uriel is for releasing unforgiveness and anger and past emotion that gets you stuck from your heart and your mind. And when you're dealing with your chakras, if you're not expressing yourself because you're angry with someone, that shuts down your throat chakra. Then that shuts down the flow to your heart chakra, which shuts down the flow to your solar plexus, which shuts down the flow to your sacral chakra, which is where all creation is birthed from. Okay? And then your root chakra starves and doesn't have enough money and everything else because your energy has started to block way up at the top of the chakras. So this is why you want to ask for that healing so you can have energetic flow through all of this. All right. So I can't believe it, are already a little bit over, so I need to go to my first break. But when we come back, I'm going to give you a little bit more content, get to these other points, and we'll start taking your questions. So don't hang up. I will definitely get to your questions. The number is 347-215-9485. That's 347-215-9485. I'm Mari. You're listening to the Aha Moments radio show, and we'll be right back.
Do you ever get a hunch about something and ignore it, only to find out later you were right after all? Do you know that you're intuitive but need help interpreting what you get? Need quick answers to burning questions, but don't have the time to wait for a private reading? Then Mari's Intuitive Living Oracle cards are the tool for you. 45 gorgeous laminated cards and a full book of interpretations come together in a beautiful velvet bag. The cards have been designed and energized to give you the answers right now. No more sleepless nights weighing pros and cons. Ask the cards your questions and see what message your intuition has for you. To learn more and get your deck now, go to the store at www.ahamomentsinc.com and click on the Intuitive Living cards now. That's the store at ahamomentsinc.com. The answers are truly within your reach.
Are you at a crossroads in your life? Facing big decisions about your life purpose, business, relationships, or other major issues? Are you wondering why you may be delayed in getting what you want? Or if you have special guides who are helping you? Then investing in a private intuitive reading with Mari is just what you need. As a third-generation spiritual intuitive, Mari has worked with thousands of clients over the past 18 years. During your private session, you will learn who your guides are, receive insight on the core issues that need attention, and get new perspective, clarity, and inspiration on what to do next. To register, go to www.ahamomentsinc.com and click on the Work with Mari tab to get all of the details. There are a limited number of spots each month, so go to www.ahamomentsinc.com for yours now.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane here. I'd like to invite you to an adventure in being. I've just written and finished a new book called Being You, Changing the World. Are you one of those dreamers? One of those people who've always known that other possibilities should be available, but haven't yet been able to create them as your reality? Well, I wrote this book specifically for you. I invite you to go to beingyoubook.com now to begin this journey of discovery with me, as I offer you a free audio chapter as my gift to get you started. In it, you'll find tools, processes, and unique perspectives to change the things you've always wanted to change but didn't know how. Are you aware that truly great people, truly being them, is the only thing that has ever created a great change on this planet? Being You, Changing the World invites you to explore a totally different possibility that you may have never considered before. So, are you willing to step up? Are you willing to truly be you? Then join me at beingyoubook.com now to get your free chapter as my gift to you. I'm looking forward to our journey together. That's beingyoubook.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change the world requires?
Step back in time to the very beginning, before life as we know it existed. Stones have been on this earth since before the inception of man. They are keepers of ancient wisdom and messages. Tap into the profound wisdom of stones and let your journey begin at the Rock Girl Sacred Stone School. Let the Rock Girl take you back to those ancient days to learn firsthand the language and the secrets of stones. The Rock Girl will teach you how to develop your very own technique of communicating with them, allowing you to embark on your own path of self-discovery. Courses include Reiki, psychic development, chakra balancing and auric cleansing, hands-on healing, and more. Visit sacredstoneschool.com for classes and workshops taught exclusively by the Rock Girl of therockgirl.com.
Hello, we're back. I'm Mari. You're listening to the Aha Moments radio show, and tonight we're talking about the 5 steps to manifesting with your angels. And I only had gotten to step 1. So let's move on. So we have step 1, which is set your intention. Step 1.5 is to ask for healing of any energy that might be incongruent with that intention prior to starting the rest of the process. So step 2 is to visualize the outcome. Now that's the fun part. That's where you get to go to the open houses and touch the granite, I say, or go test drive the car, or visualize what the exact type of career you'd like to have or the type of job. The thing that you want to do when you're doing the physical visualization, which is, like I said, the more physical you can, it's very hard. Mari, finish your sentence. It's very hard to manifest something or to actualize something that you haven't experienced in some way. I find that it's much easier to visualize when I've actually touched it. So like I said, if you want a house, go to the open houses. If you want a car, go test drive the car. If you want, the new outfit, these are very material things. If you want true love, be around kids. Go volunteer. Go to the animal shelter and work with the animals. Foster care a pet. If you put yourself in a space of unconditional love, so that you start to resonate that energy. My friend Sandy Taylor talks about the law of resonance. She has a number of laws of energetic laws that go way beyond the law of attraction. One of the things in the law of resonance is whatever energy you push forward, you resonate. So it's kind of like your glow. So whatever your glow is what you attract. So if you want love, give it. If you, I have a new little kitten, and I tell you, she screams like a banshee. And it's funny, knock on wood, I pray to God she doesn't do it for the show. I told her, I said, listen, you've got to be quiet for an hour, and then I'll let you back out, and we can play. And she's been quiet so far, God bless her. So I just pray. But anyway, yeah, it's just amazing to have a young little baby around. I haven't had a young animal like that in many, many years, and the energy that it exudes, and I see people are actually being a little bit nicer to me, quite frankly, because I'm probably resonating a little bit more love energy. So you want to make sure that you're getting the emotion, and it is easier to get the emotion around driving the Beamer if you actually sit in it, and not just look at pictures. Anyway, so you do that. So that's number 3. Become the energy and the emotion that you desire. Okay, the more that you can do that, the more of your day that you can be in a space of of happiness, of at least contentment. Okay, you don't have to be like, I just hit the lottery happy, because that's what a lot of people say when I say happy. But that space of, life is chugging along and I'm doing okay. I'm doing great. It's even better than I can ever imagine. One of the new little tricks that I use, which I thought was really cool because it's been, actualizing some really fun stuff, is when I walk out of the door for the day, when I leave the house, I say, what would it take for me to feel 1,000,000 times happier coming home than I do right now leaving the house? So what miracles, magical things can happen while I'm out today, that when I come home, I'm just elated and excited and joyful and hopeful. And it's amazing how the last several days when I came up with that one, the last several days I go out, I go do my work or whatever, and something happens, I get a call or I get an email or something, and I'm like, woohoo, and I am coming in a lot happier and more excited than when I left in the morning. So that's something you can do. So 3 is become the energy and the emotion that you desire. Number 4, and this is the hard part. Now, you just got to do the fun part, the visualizing and the energizing and all that. Number 4 is to let it go and allow yourself to receive whatever signs, symbols, and synchronicities come to provide you with the action steps that you need to follow. Okay, because none of this comes without taking action, and that's another thing where people get confused. They think, okay, now I'm going to just wait. And no, you don't want to wait. Manifesting is an actionable process, but what you want to do is be able to let it go and allow yourself to receive, because it's a conversation you're having with the energy. It's a give and a take. So you want to allow yourself to receive the information back. That means signs, symbols, synchronicities. Those are like, they feel like, quote, quote, coincidences, unquote. But you will get, Doreen always said, if you see it 3 times, then it's a sign. I'm talking about Doreen Virtue. She always said, if you see it 3 times, then it's a sign. And you can even say, I've put this visualization out there. Please give me 3 signs. Or please give me a sign 3 times to let me know if this is the direction I should take. And then if you get those 3 signs, then you move on and you go and take that take action in that regard. Okay? If it's saying no, you don't want to wrangle-dangle it. If you're getting a no, it's one of two things. Either it's a no because something better is going to show up, or it's a divine delay because something is configuring, especially when it has to do with relationships with another person. Okay? I know a lot of you like to talk to me about relationships, but when you are dealing with another person, you cannot manifest them into wanting you back. They have to want you back because they want you back. But I can tell you this, they will want you a lot more if you're not attached to them wanting you. When you are, and you know it yourself, when somebody's attached to you, even if you like the person, when they glob on and they sort of put their dig the talons in, it's like, oh, wow, it feels claustrophobic, right? And you can feel that energy when somebody's getting too, you might start off really being attracted to them, and then all of a sudden they start to cling, and it starts to feel needy, and you feel, right? So you want to make sure that that sense of detachment is there, and that goes for relationships and for, physical things and for jobs and situations and all that kind of stuff. If you're working on, like, manifesting a job and you're waiting to hear for an interview or from, an offer or something like that, you want to envision it as much as you can with that happy energy. But the minute you get to that point where you start to worry a little bit, like, is it really going to happen? And am I doing this right? You want to stop and you want to change focus and go do something that's tangible, that you definitely can succeed at, even if it's cleaning your room or going for a walk in the park. Do something that's tangible that can take your mind off of it. Because the minute trust me, I know this firsthand. The minute you get into that, you go from that high emotional state of, oh, wow, this is the most amazing house I could have, to, oh, man, but I don't know how I'm going to get it. I don't know how. You kill all of the work that you just did. You kill it. And the energy, one thing about energy, especially working with it this way, it's very literal. Okay? Understand, you're not talking to a parent. This is not trying to get a wish granted. This is not trying to get your parent to say, yes, you can go out, you can take my card and I can go out to the coffee shop. This is dealing with a neutral energy that wants the best for you, but will manifest what you put out there as your dominant thought, because you have free will. A lot of people try to treat the energy like a parent. Oh, I don't know why God has passed over me. I don't know, he must be dealing with all the other people. And, it happens for everybody else, but it doesn't happen for me. That's inaccurate. That's not the case. It's not the case. And that's why they say bad things happen to good people. You say, oh, why did these bad things happen? Where was your dominant thought? Okay, now we can go off on a big tangent with that. We won't. Let me just get through the next thing. So the next thing is to take action. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4.5 for another 4.5, because I wanted to fit it into the title 5. But you got to take action. All right, you have to take action, even if a lot of times it'll be action that seems weird. Like, you'll be asking for a man, and all of a sudden you get a hunch to go to take a pottery class. And what? Take the class. There's probably, who knows what the teacher is, or who knows what woman will be in there doing the pottery with you who has a cute brother. You know what I mean? So you have to take action, even if it seems a little unrelated. Sometimes it's going into what's going to ultimately be a shortcut, even if it seems like it's going the wrong way. And then finally, the number 5 is to receive the results. Now, this is another place where people really fall down. They go through all the other steps, they take all the action, and then they get to the point where it's about time to receive it, and they stop. Oh, I don't deserve it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, this didn't feel like I didn't. Oh, I don't know. And they panic and they stop. Or they lose it. That's because of that, what we call the dark side of the dream. That piece where is there something underlying that you're afraid of. Once you see it, it's like they say, oh, be careful what you wish for. Okay? So once you have to be open and willing to receive what you're asking for. So the mantra you want to use for that, which really, really helps, is I'm open to receive and willing to accept all that the universe has for me now in actualizing this desire. Okay, so I'm open to receive and willing to accept all that the universe has for me now in actualizing this desire. And you can listen to the podcast if you need to hear that again, because I probably won't remember exactly how I said it in like the next 30 seconds. But this is something that you really, the receiving part is huge. It's huge. And a lot of people say, oh, I like to give more than receive. Well, guess what? Every time you're willing to receive something, it's a gift to the person who's giving it. So you are giving. Okay? And it has to be two ways. And that goes for the energy too. That goes for the universe. It goes for your angels. Every time you're grateful to the angels, you'll be amazed at how much more pours in. It lets them know they're on the right track. And like I always say, when you're dealing with angels, you have to know that, you have to ask. You have to ask for what you're desiring, because they can't help you and go against your free will unless you ask. So that's, a major distinction when you're working with the angels. Now, one of the other angels that you want to call in for your manifesting projects is Archangel Ariel. She is the angel of courage and the angel of spreading your wings and flying. Most of the time, especially if you're pretty ambitious, and if you're studying this stuff, usually you are, you're kind of asking yourself sometimes to jump off a cliff, because you do have to be vulnerable in manifesting. You have to be willing to put your heart out there and say, yes, I want a radio show. I want, this great career. I'm ready for that relationship that makes my heart sing. That comes with a lot of work attached to it too sometimes, So it takes courage, and Archangel Ariel is the one who can help you with that. You just call on Archangel Ariel, and all you have to do when you're working with any of these angels is say, Ariel, 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 please come forward and help me with this now. Please make yourself known to me. And you can work with Ariel in your dreams. You can work with Ariel in your journal by journaling and asking questions and writing things down. You can ask for signs from any of these angels. But the ones that, like I said, the core manifesting angels, Archangel Michael, he helps you to detach too from emotional cords from people that might get in the way. And Archangel Uriel for releasing unforgiveness, any kinds of emotional blocks. Archangel Ariel for the courage to manifest and bring things through. Then there's two other guides, Lakshmi, which is a Hindu goddess, and Ganesh. Ganesh is, if you ever see those elephant statues, that's Ganesha. Ganesh is for releasing obstacles that might stand in your way. Lakshmi is a goddess of abundance, and she will pour money and in abundance and whatever resources you need. They walk kind of hand in hand. So you can say, Lakshmi and Ganesha, please come forward and help me with this particular manifestation. The other one is Jesus. Jesus is, when we look at the kind of the non-denominational version, Jesus, the magical manifestor. He's the miracle worker. If you are really desiring a rapid manifestation, park Jesus in whatever it is you're desiring. Put him in the new house and show the radiance. See the radiance of his light, easing the way for you. If you're going in for any kind of, if you have to go to court, imagine Jesus next to you. Imagine Jesus next to the judge. Jesus is within everybody, and I'm not being religious here. It's literally energetic. Okay, that's what he stood for, is to help us to see our manifesting power. So you can call on his energy to support you and help you in this process as well. All right, so wow, that's a lot of content for tonight. I am going to actually take a call, because I know there's so many of you on the line, and then we can get to a break. How about Denny in Orlando? Hi, Denny. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Can I help you?
Yes, ma'am. I was just wondering if you see anything that's keeping me from manifestation, personal, my energy.
I think you have a big wall of protection from disappointment. So it feels to me like you kind of believe, but for other people. And you kind of like to watch other people. You get very excited. You're very supportive of other people when they manifest stuff for themselves, because it feels really good, and you're a very generous guy. But when it comes to you receiving, it's almost like, well, I kind of don't deserve that. Like, who am I to get you're misidentifying humbleness and receptivity. You can receive and still be humble. You have to just say thank you. There's your humble. Okay? So what I would say is see if you can drop the walls of protection that you have around yourself. And it feels also like, maybe you've been disappointed in the past. But just know, Lisa Nichols is a friend of mine, she says has a saying that says, man's rejection is God's protection. And what that means is if you get rejected from something or something doesn't come through, it's God's way of saying there's something better and probably protecting you from something you wouldn't like in the first place. So I would just kind of keep that in mind. But for now, it feels to me like you're right at the brink of turning a lot of magic on in your world as long as you're willing to receive it. It looks like you're in good shape, actually.
Thank you. So all I need to do is basically talk to the angels, and then they will be able to cut that cord, right?
Yep. Archangel Michael would be very helpful for you. Absolutely.
Okay.
Make sure you get a journal notebook and just keep a list of what you're focused on. All right?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night, Danny. Okay, why don't we take one more before a break, Sam? And let's see. We have Judy in California. Hi, Judy. How are you?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. I contracted HSV2 from my husband at the time, probably on our honeymoon, I guess. And since then, I've been trying to find a way to heal it, clear it, get it out of my body. And anytime I would try to have a relationship, once I have a conversation about the disclosure of the herpes, freaks out a man. So I'm dealing with that right now with someone I really care about, but he's dating other people right now. So.
Oh, wow. That's really painful, isn't it? That is really, really painful. I had a friend who went through that, and she was really devastated by that. Things for you. First of all, what you can do is work with Archangel Raphael and ask Archangel Raphael for complete healing and start to see yourself in what we call the divine perfection. Because the being is perfect. It's in perfect and radiant health. And you can see yourself within, and you just say, my body is reflecting its true divine perfection now. Okay? And instead of seeing yourself, one of the things that happens with that is that you see yourself as flawed. And you see it as a wall. And that's that resonant energy that comes through. So even the guy who could, take the meds along with you and wear condoms and do all those kinds of things that you do, could potentially say, okay, I'm willing to go through this with you. Your energy exudes, you're going to reject me, so let me brace myself. And it happens. So it seems like it's, quote, real because it happened. But it actually still is something of an energetic creation. So from the energy perspective, what you can also do is ask for healing and just say, energetically, you can say, you know what, I see that this was a diagnosis, but I choose to create a different truth for myself. And angels, Archangel Raphael in particular, you can ask to please surround me with 1,000,000 healing angels and receive the energy of complete, total healing from them for this. So you can ask for, energetic healing, and that will manifest as a physical dismissal of this from my body. And then also on the emotional side, you got to love yourself anyway. Mm-hmm. And the two that you can get help with for that is Archangel Uriel, which I was talking about before, and Archangel Jeremiel. Jeremiel is for healing emotions, and all of that guilt and shame and all those things that go along with that, regardless of how, you contracted it, etc. So the other question you could ask, and this is something that Dane would talk about, is who does this belong to? Because a lot of times we're kind of taking on something that doesn't even really belong to us. And so you can just say, in everything that is, I'm willing to release it and destroy and uncreate it and let it go. But self-acceptance, regardless, and not seeing yourself as flawed, but just seeing this as a potential circumstance that can be healed, that's what I would focus on. So hopefully that. Okay? Thanks for calling. Have a great night.
You too.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so why don't we take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take some more calls, and I'll finish up with the content. The number, if you'd like to call in, is 347-215-9485. That's 347-215-9485. I'm Mari. You're listening to the Aha Moments radio show, and we'll be right back.
Step back in time to the very beginning, before life as we know it existed. Stones have been on this earth since before the inception of man. They are keepers of ancient wisdom and messages. Tap into the profound wisdom of stones and let your journey begin at the Rock Girl Sacred Stone School. Let the Rock Girl take you back to those ancient days to learn firsthand the language and the secrets of stones. The Rock Girl will teach you how to develop your very own technique of communicating with them, allowing you to embark on your own path of self-discovery. Courses include Reiki, psychic development, chakra balancing and auric cleansing, hands-on healing, and more. Visit sacredstoneschool.com for classes and workshops taught exclusively by the Rock Girl of therockgirl.com.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane here. I'd like to invite you to an adventure in being. I've just written and finished a new book called Being You, Changing the World. Are you one of those dreamers? One of those people who've always known that other possibilities should be available, but haven't yet been able to create them as your reality? Well, I wrote this book specifically for you. I invite you to go to beingyoubook.com now to begin this journey of discovery with me, as I offer you a free audio chapter as my gift to get you started. In it, you'll find tools, processes, and unique perspectives to change the things you've always wanted to change but didn't know how. Are you aware that truly great people, truly being them, is the only thing that has ever created a great change on this planet? Being You, Changing the World invites you to explore a totally different possibility that you may have never considered before. So, are you willing to step up? Are you willing to truly be you? Then join me at beingyoubook.com now to get your free chapter as my gift to you. I'm looking forward to our journey together. That's beingyoubook.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change the world requires?
Are you at a crossroads in your life? Facing big decisions about your life purpose, business, relationships, or other major issues? Are you wondering why you may be delayed in getting what you want? Or if you have special guides who are helping you? Then investing in a private intuitive reading with Mari is just what you need. As a third-generation spiritual intuitive, Mari has worked with thousands of clients over the past 18 years. During your private session, you will learn who your guides are, receive insight on the core issues that need attention, and get new perspective, clarity, and inspiration on what to do next. To register, go to www.ahamomentsinc.com and click on the Work with Mari tab to get all of the details. There are a limited number of spots each month, so go to www.ahamomentsinc.com for yours now.
Do you ever get a hunch about something and ignore it, only to find out later you were right after all? Do you know that you're intuitive but need help interpreting what you get? Need quick answers to burning questions but don't have the time to wait for a private reading? Then Mari's Intuitive Living Oracle cards are the tool for you. 45 gorgeous laminated cards and a full book of interpretations come together in a beautiful velvet bag. The cards have been designed and energized to give you the answers right now. No more sleepless nights weighing pros and cons. Ask the cards your questions and see what message your intuition has for you. To learn more and get your deck now, go to the store at www.ahamomentsinc.com and click on the Intuitive Living cards now. That's the store at ahamomentsinc.com. The answers are truly within your reach.
Hello, we are back. You're listening to the Aha Moments radio show. I'm Mari, and tonight we are talking about manifesting with the angels. So I just wanted to let you know a couple of other things you can do, and I'm going to take another caller before we end the show. When you're working with these angels and you're working with these manifesting projects, one of the things, once you figure out your intention, you can ask, name a band of angels for yourself. My job search angels, my new home angels, my healing angels. You can name a band of angels for yourself. You can say, I now surround this situation with 100 healing angels or 150 travel angels or 1 million travel angels, or however you want to do it, and they will configure and come together for you. So when you call on an archangel, you're calling on, I call them the grand poobahs of the spiritual world, and they're kind of just the head honchos. They head over the big governing, they kind of break down all the different projects, and they're heavenly helpers. The other one, then you have the bands of angels. Okay, so you can assign them for anything. So you can always call in those extra troops to help you, to kind of even be the eyes behind your head, I like to say, the ones that can sort of guide you and show you all the things that you can't necessarily see or feel with your physical eyes. The other archangel that has come in and said, I'd like you to talk about me a little bit, is Archangel Sandalphon. Archangel Sandalphon is considered to be the angel that delivers God's gifts. He is also considered to be one of only 2 angels that were actually in human form, and actually had taken on a human lifetime. So they have those 2 angels are Metatron and Sandalphon. And Sandalphon he delivers the gifts from God to you. That's his story, okay? And basically, it's kind of like the story around it is that he can do this because he was human. He can kind of relate to the human experience and get, that favor, that feeling of favor, that feeling of grace, and enhance that. So he's the deliverer of gifts from God. So those are the archangels that can really help you. The other goddess that you might want to consider, especially if you're working with cash flow, is Abundancia. It's abundant with T-I-A at the end, Abundancia. And Abundancia is it's like kind of like the cornucopia goddess. And she's also there's also Goddess Fortuna. They're they're kind of the money ladies, I like to call them, and they will shower down the cash flow. Cash, the gold coins. You'll start to see them when you can know they're around. If you find coins and change on the ground, I seem to find it quite a bit lately as I'm walking, and you make sure you pick those coins up and you celebrate them like you hit the lottery, so that you have that resonant energy that, don't say, oh man, I just got a dime, but I need $10 million. You say, oh my goodness, I got a dime. Thank you. Little gratitude sends that resonant energy, and it just expands and attracts more. Okay, so I'm going to we have about 3 minutes left to the show. I'm going to take one more caller, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight. Let's see. Paula in New Jersey. Hi, Paula. How are you?
Hi, Mary. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you for taking the call. One of the angel teachings that you had done, you had asked us to, ask to see, what angels were actually helping us. And it came to me that Gabrielle was assisting me. And I didn't know exactly in what way until a couple of weeks ago that you actually told us that Gabrielle helps with writing and speaking and getting work out to the world. And I've actually been working on putting together a website for the past couple of months. So he's been actually assisting me with that.
Yeah, Archangel Gabriel is one of the archangels that actually has both gender reflections in his sort of story, because Archangel Gabriel was the one who let Mary know she was feminine, and the other version, the one that we're talking about now, is considered the masculine version, so that's kind of interesting. But yes, that's for everybody. Archangel Gabriel is wonderful for as you're kind of like your archangelic muse. He's amazing with helping with getting your work out to the world, especially light workers. So did you have a question tonight?
Actually, I did have a question. I have a cockatiel, and we had moved into a new house. So I believe in the spirits and angels, and just like a few mornings that he was really acting weird and just squawking. There was like no reason why he should be carrying on. And so I just turned around and I says, well, whoever's here, you're welcome as long as you're not going to cause any harm to the family. So we haven't heard anything after that. So do you believe that there's a spirit in the house?
Your house is pretty old?
It's about 25 years old.
Were you the first owner of the house?
No, we're the third owner of the house.
Yeah, there's a lot of times what happens is with a house of that age and older, of course, if it was a brand new house and you're having that, then it could be what the house was built on, of the one there before, because a lot of times if there's a disembodied spirit, they'll stick around because they're like, well, what happened? They get disoriented. If it's an older house, then a lot of times there's house for that. You just sparked an idea. But that can happen. What I would say is you want to get a house blessing. You want definitely any kind of being in the house, energy in the house feels like it's causing your animal distress, you distress, or there's a lot of heaviness in the house. What I focus, let's see, Sam, I just want to make sure. Just want to focus on the light, and you don't have to stay in the house with you.
Okay, I didn't get it, Mary. You're actually fading in and out, so I only got a little bit out of that. I heard smudging and some energy, but that was it.
Hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, so all I said was that you don't have to keep a spirit in the house, to be polite. You can say, can you please go to the light, if it's distressing your animals and that type of thing. But you can also do clearings. You can do smudging, which you probably already know about.
Yeah, which I've done. Mm-hmm.
Also a book I'm going to recommend to you by Denise Linn, Linn, Denise Linn. Okay, she's wonderful. It's called Sacred Space. She teaches you all different types of clearing and how to identify that. So since we're wrapping up the show, I would refer you to that book, and it's going to give you some very, very reputable practices to do.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Thanks so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I think we have made it to the end of another Aha Moments radio show. Please, please, please make sure that you allow yourself to receive all of this that you're working towards, okay? And allow it to sort of show up for you. Don't think that you can't have anything you want. You can have it all. You really, really can. It may come in a little different configuration, I have to be honest. It may not look exactly like what you visualize it to be, and that's where you want to say, I'm willing to receive it, or something even better. It might feel a little bit vulnerable. I know that a lot of us try to control every little detail, but let it percolate, let it sit. Allow the universe to work with you as your partner, not as your adversary, not as your parent. You don't have to get permission. You don't have to be granted a wish. You're creating, and you have that power to do that. So hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. I certainly have, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in Angel School. It's ahamomentsinc.com/Angel School, and at our live event. So you can take a look at all that, and next week we will have Dr. Dane on. Very excited to have him on the show, so be sure to tune in and watch your inbox for all the other great guests we're going to have going forward for the rest of this year. Very, very exciting. All right, everybody, you know what I always say, you truly can have exactly what you want, and you absolutely deserve it too. Have a great night, everybody. See you next week.
You've been listening to the Aha Moments radio show with your host, Mari. Be sure to visit her blog and website at www.ahamomentsinc.com. That's AHA, moments with an S, inc.com. Also join Mari on Facebook at www.facebook.com/AhaMomentsInc and Twitter at twitter.com/AhaMoments. We can't wait to see you there.